Here with more is Fox News contributor Mary Katharine Ham and the host of OutKick's Tomi Lahren is fearless. Tomi Lahren. Tomi, I think I'm being fair. I can't understand. That's the best pronunciation we can come up with. We've listened very closely. We've slowed it down and listened to it. We put it in there phonetically. And I'm trying to give them an opportunity to come on the air and explain what the words are, because I can't explain them. Is that a cheap fake video?
No, it's very real. Maybe it's a new language we haven't heard of yet. A lot of illegal immigrants coming across their border speaking languages we're unfamiliar with. But, Sean, I actually think that the Democrat Party and those in the media that do the bidding of the Democrat Party, I think they want you to play those videos. I think that they want you and Fox News and honest media to play those videos on a loop because, quite frankly, I think they want to get rid of Joe, as you know. And I think this might be their way of doing it because all week long we've been talking about these supposed cheap fake videos. And a lot of Americans that didn't see them initially, didn't see them from conservative accounts on Twitter, because the media is talking about them ad nauseum, they're actually going and they're watching them.
So wait a minute. So are you saying that the people around Biden and Karine Jean-Pierre and everybody in between, that this is not real, that they really want Joe to get out of the race, and they're all colluding together to push him out by drawing attention to his cognitive decline? You believe that?
I do, and I think that's the only way they get him to step down. That's the only way they convince Jill to convince him to step down is by playing these videos over and over again, making them unavoidable for the American public, because in reality, that's exactly what they've done. If it is unintentional, it's the biggest self-own this election cycle.
Mary Katharine, your take.
Yeah, I'm not sure I give them that much credit for the strategy, but here's the thing. Voters have already decided, right, before this latest spate of videos of him mumbling and stumbling. And some of this is just undeniable. The voters back in February were saying at 67% he's too old to serve another term. That includes a majority of his own voters. And this nonsense from media at large about cheap fakes is just the new Russian disinformation. It is this flexible term that they can use to say, oh, there's a grave threat to American discourse. And the grave threat to American discourse, it turns out, is Americans talking about what's happening in front of their eyeballs, and they will try to shut you down. I got shut down. One of my posts on Instagram got shut down for posting a poll about what happened at the G7 with Biden that said, is he lost?
Let me ask you this.
Is it missing context, or do you care? And I still got shut down.
I don't think I can see a scenario where Tomi is 1,000% right. The only thing we might disagree on is who the replacement is. She's pretty convinced it'll be Gavin Newsom. I'm not so sure it would be Gavin. I think probably it would be the vice president. If not her, it would be Whitmer. But I see the possibility. Look, he's one major fall away from that. So I guess the question is, do you think that Joe survives, or do you agree with Tomi he doesn't make it?
Look, I think they're in a pickle, right? Because asking the leader of the free world, who has been running to be the leader of the free world since I was 8 years old, to step down is a difficult thing to do. However, I can see a scenario because those superdelegates have shown several times over in the Democratic Party that they are capable of taking the reins and making the choices for their party instead of voters. So there is a possibility that something happens, but I think my money's on Joe continuing throughout.
I think I'm with you, but I can see Tomi's scenario. Tomi, walk us through your scenario again.
Yeah.
Well, I think it either happens at the convention and it's a big coup, or it happens directly after the convention. Joe has got to be convinced to step down, and I think that the reason that they're playing these videos and why they're going to continue to play these videos is to embarrass his family that much that the power and the allure of the power is not as great as the embarrassment that they're feeling by these videos playing on a loop. So I think that's why we're seeing them, and we're going to keep seeing them. And there's going to be more, because these are not one-offs, Sean. There's going to be more between now and probably 2 weeks from now.
All right. Last exit question, yes or no. Do we see the return of jacked up Joe? Mary Katharine.
Absolutely, yes. I think that is a very good prediction. Every time he has a major event, he is a different person. The question is whether the jacked up version can last 90 minutes of coverage and back and forth. That's tough.
Tomi, do we see jacked up Joe?
we see jacked up Joe, but I think it's going to backfire, because it's one thing to be jacked up Joe and deliver a speech. It's another when you actually have to answer questions. Uh-oh.
He's not reading a teleprompter, you know, at the speed of light without getting introduced by the Speaker of the House, which is kind of a historic moment. You know, it's my high honor, distinct pleasure to introduce the President. Oh, let's just get right to the speech. Anyway, pretty funny, but sad also. Thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.